Me. It's about 2:36 in the morning. The last couple of weeks I've been anticipating going back to Puerto Rico and anticipating the stupidity that I'm to meet when I get there. And I'm okay with that. But I definitely wanted to say a couple of things, reminding myself, and eventually I'll put this up on the net, but reminding myself that we must understand the lawsuit that we're bringing won't be against the children, it'll be against the adults. And what all of you don't realize is all of you are using the so-called FRNs. Who controls the FRNs? Is it not the Federal Reserve and the Federal Reserve Board? The money is worthless. It is not backed by anything of substance. They control it. They control how much of it is out there and how much of it ain't out there. But they're the ones who are also controlling the homes and the foreclosures and the economy. People, do you understand how much in control they are? It is a bank-run system. But here's the thing. They're making you pay them with their junk. And that can't be. You cannot be required to pay off a loan with somebody else's junk. Because they control what you can and cannot pay. Do you understand how controlling that is and how manipulative that is? All they have to do is pull back the currency in certain areas of the economy and they can guarantee how many people will be in foreclosure within a month. Do you understand, people, what's going on here? This is their game. And it is their game. You don't have to be a part of it. Many of you choose to be a part of it, and that's okay. But look, I and a couple other people have been talking. I've been telling everybody everything is equity. You had Dean. Now I can't even think of Dean's last name. Dean from Canada. See, people, I can't even think of Clifford. He was telling everybody it's all contract. Everything is contract. Ladies and gentlemen, everything is contract. You had to agree. How did you agree? By not taking your birth certificates at the age of 18 and getting yourself documented on the record as not agreeing and being an adult. You had to agree by acquiescence. If you don't know what acquiescence, okay, look it up and see what it means, because that's what you've been doing. You're passive. Sorry. I was going to go there. Oh, it's a good thing I'm just too tired to even think about going there. I go back to Puerto Rico tomorrow at 10 p.m. I wake up tomorrow morning, or this morning, at about 6 o'clock. It's 2:30 now, so just imagine how much sleep I'll get. I am taking care of the Our Style money order, the international money order in the dollar bill, and a copy of the note that I'm paying to the order of, along with the deed of trust that I'm paying to the order of. Now it's time. I'm going to play their game, y'all. I'm going to use their instruments, and I want them to tell me that it's worthless. Especially after I went up there and put together all their laws showing how the banking laws came together. And that paid to the order of and all that. This note is legal tender for the payment of all blah, 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 blah. We know the system now. You are all just going to have to not be a part of the junk. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm up in the middle of the night. I would have done a video, but I want to get some sleep. So I'm going to stop talking. I did want to let you all know something. I just was going through YouTube, and I've been watching YouTube all night. Catching up on some stuff I hadn't watched in a long time. Watching me a couple of videos of Marcus Houston. I saw, his name pop up, and they said he was one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And at first I'm like, okay, Marcus. Prince, Marcus, no big deal. Marcus talked about how they talked about how he tweeted that he qualified to be baptized as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. A lot of people don't know what that means. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't just become a Jehovah's Witness because you like the taste of chocolate. You don't become a Jehovah's Witness because you walk into a Kingdom Hall and they say, well, thank you, welcome. Now we can baptize you, and they sprinkle some water on you. Don't work that way. It didn't work that way with Jesus or his disciples. Remember, they all went to school. What school did they go to? Before they got baptized, was not John the Baptizer their teacher? Did he not teach the scriptures to them? Did they not go to the synagogue and learn what the scripture said? You couldn't just be a Jew just to be a Jew. You had to practice, and if you didn't practice, oh God, you were shunned by everybody. Well, Jehovah's Witnesses, it works this way. If you don't know the basics of the scriptures, how can you go out and help your neighbor? Jehovah's Witnesses knock on doors not to irritate people, not because it's a mission, but because it's an obligation. You see, we're supposed to love our neighbors as ourselves. So if we know the truth, and we believe we do, then we should be teaching it to others. It really is that simple. That's why they knock on your doors, because they are showing love for the neighbor. We don't have a quota. We gotta knock on 80 doors before we can go home, y'all, so let's go. Come on, let's go. Get on out there, Grandma. It's not that type of party. And like my father, like many other Jehovah's Witnesses, children are children. So you do as your parents say until you get to an age to where your parents think you're responsible enough to make the decision for yourself. And as I told you all, 15, my father said. And at 15, I made the decision. I was going to go check for myself. So, to this day, nobody has been able to stand their own with me when it comes to the Bible because I study the Bible. I don't just read it. Anybody can read a book, but I studied. I can tell you 3 things about the Bible that you didn't know. First, every scripture is backed up by at least 2 scriptures. No scripture stands by itself. So when you got idiots who come up to you and show you one scripture and they start running, you go ahead and chase them. Run with them. But one scripture does not a point make when it comes to the Bible. That's why it was written by 49 different men, 66 different books, over 1,500 years, and it's completely harmonious. But what about the Apocrypha? Don't get me started on the Apocrypha, Baal versus the dragon, like there would ever be a book in the Bible named Baal, a false god. Please. Sorry. Almost went there. Well, anyway, this is not about Jehovah's Witnesses, not about the Bible. This is about me reminding myself so that I don't forget about the FRNs and about how the Federal Reserve is sitting up there manipulating the entire system, manipulating the mortgages. You see, they're the ones who are manipulating the stock market. Do you notice the dollar's over 18,000 points? This weak economy and it's over 8,000 points. You all need to start paying attention. It's manipulation. Now see, I don't watch the news. I listen to news when it's news, but I don't watch the news because all CNN is talking about is Donald Trump, and all Fox is talking about is Hillary Clinton. They're all talking about something that ain't news, so I don't listen to it. I'm more interested in the events that are going on around me, because that lets me know what time period I'm living in. So I pay attention to the larger events. All right, so with that being said, this is going to be the most simplest, plainest video. People, stop acquiescing to contracts. Do like I did, put void. I just looked at the contract that I signed with Puerto Rico, and you can see right in the middle of my name the word void. I didn't know I was that plain, but I told myself I ain't playing no more games with these people, and I'm gonna go back there, and I'm not even gonna have the paper with me, and I'm gonna tell them you better give me my ID, mother. Okay, that's the conversation we're gonna have when I get back. All right, with all that being said, I just want to let you know that it's all contract. And when I went to the DMV here in California, they talked to me in such a way that I thought it was really disrespectful. And it's not nothing that they said, it was the way their mannerism was. As if I was taking up their time after waiting for an hour and a half. And so they asked me for my social security number, and I wrote down the last 6 numbers and blocked off the first 3. Oh no, we need you to redo this form. I said, no, I've already redone it once. See, they have this policy that you can't make a mistake on the form. If not, you have to do it over. They better be glad I've been gone for the last 15 years. Because there's no way in the world you would ever have a policy like that around me. No, you will accept my form, mistake and all. Because I'll put my initials next to it saying, yeah, I'm the that made that mistake. Okay? Well, anyway, they told me that I needed to provide my social. They said it was the law I told him, "You're out of your mind. I have the law right there in the car. If you want, I'll pull it out where it says that none of these private agencies can ask me for my social security number and refuse the service to me because I refuse to give it to them." So she goes, the supervisor goes and looks in her book for the law. Man, 20 minutes later, come back to me, "Well, we can't do it. It's policy." Excuse me? And policy is closed right now. Normally we have a number. Here's the number to policy. You can call them yourself and ask them. I called policy the next day. Policy say, "Excuse me, where'd you get this number?" "I'm sorry, I didn't call to answer your questions. I called to have my questions answered." "No, this is a private number. Where'd you get this number?" "Excuse me, you're supposed to be a public agency. None of your numbers are private. You don't have privacy rights. You are a public servant. No, I need to know where you got this number, and I need to know, is this policy and issuance? No, you need to tell me where you got." "I don't need to tell you jack." What I was going to tell him is, "You keep playing with me, and I will put your number on the internet and let everybody know this number. You'll be changing so many numbers in that office that none of your numbers will be useful anymore." Play with me, mother. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it all works out like this, and I need for you all to pay attention. Stop acquiescing. Stop signing papers just to be signing them. Look at what you're signing, and if you don't agree with it, put your signature and then write NA after it, okay? Disaffirmance is disaffirmance. You don't have to put void like I put. You just have to put something there that indicates you didn't agree. And it has to be clear later to the person who's looking at you. Show them that you didn't agree, that it's a disagreement. So what I would do, and I really would do, is I would write up an affidavit in advance. And I would say, anytime I write my name this way, this means disaffirmance. And when I write it that way, that means agreement. And when I write it this way, this means apprehension. Okay? Just giving you guys something to think about. Again, nobody is talking about, get it? Mortgages and infinite estate and how it all comes together. So stay on the ride, people. Don't jump off just yet. And I know some of y'all was thinking this man was long but gone and never coming again. I ain't going nowhere. More tough than alligator skin. So I'll be back. All right, take care of yourselves. Keep yourselves safe. And I will speak to all of you the next time we get that opportunity. I'm gone.